I guess not. Hello? Hey, there we go. There we go. Let me start over.
Quarter in it.
I want to thank my friend Lindsey Graham. We've been working together on these issues for a long time, and his continued partnership makes a real difference. Bipartisanship should be at the heart of this because the victims are certainly from all across the political spectrum as well. The Senate Judiciary Committee, which I chair, is not always known for bipartisanship. We have members that span the political spectrum. You ought to take a look at the membership if you question that. And we tackle some of the most controversial issues in this country. Yet 1 year ago, all 21 members, every Democrat and every Republican on the committee, unanimously passed 5 bills designed to make kids safer online. My Stop CSAM was one of those bills. It ensures that victims finally have their day in court, and it finally creates an incentive for big tech to get serious about approaching kids' safety. Later today, we're going to be discussing this and deciding the next step to move forward, because we want to move not only the Stop CSAM Act, but Senator Graham's Earn It Act. We want these to be taken up and considered by the Senate as soon as possible. There's no time to waste. A year ago, Wall Street Journal reported that Instagram's algorithm had created a vast network of online pedophiles and was helping these offenders find sexual abuse material. 1 year later, still no accountability from Instagram, no justice for the victims, and no incentive for the platform to do better. A child survivor who goes by the name Al recently wrote to me and said, "Do not let what happened to me happen to any more children. Do not wait to pass much needed child protection legislation. Do not hesitate, because lives are at stake." I believe that. The public agrees. In a recent poll, 2/3 of people in the poll said that children and teens are neither not too safe or not safe at all online. Ask any parent or grandparent, and I'm one of grandparent category, about what they think when the kids grab these phones and head off to their rooms, what's happening. You just don't know. You sure as hell just don't know. And even the best intended kids end up becoming victims if they're not careful. An even larger majority, 87%, agree it's important for Congress to do something to address the harmful impact of social media. Congress cannot fail. We need you to continue to stand up and speak up. Sometimes it's painful to tell your story, but it's just the only way that this is going to reach a place where we want to. We can make families and kids a hell of a lot safer if we have the courage politically to do it. I'm happy to be a partner in this effort. Most unlikely odd couple in Washington, but I want to bring up now Lindsey Graham, South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for your leadership. 21-0 in the Judiciary Committee. I don't think we could make Sunday, or Saturday a holiday 21-0. Why? Because we care about you. We wouldn't be talking about this bill if it weren't for you and your stories, okay? If you wonder if it matters what you do, it matters a lot. So we're not giving up. As a matter of fact, we're making progress. We've had people who were going to object saying, maybe I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. We're having people to reach out to us for the first time. Would you be willing to change things a little bit? Maybe so. That's the way the legislative process works. But up until now, nobody really gave a damn about what you said. You'd come up here and make eloquent statements. Senator Durbin and I would pass bills 20-0. They'd go to the floor and die. It happened when we were in charge. Those days are behind us, right? Do you all agree? Enough. There's a sickness in America, and we're going to provide a cure. What is that sickness? Children, not just children, young adults, people of all ages, all sizes, all backgrounds, are exploited online. CSAM, what is it? When you have been exploited against your will and those images are continued to be repeated over and over again, and you ask the company involved in showing the abuse to take it down, they don't, you should be able to do something about it. Most Americans can't believe that these companies have no accountability. They're the largest companies in the history of the world. They're immune from lawsuit. Of all the people I would give blanket immunity to, social media companies will be at the bottom of the list, not the top of the list. The internet is well developed. For those who are worried about liability stopping development, the internet is well developed. There's a good side and there's a dark side, and we're going to deal with the dark side. Section 230, which prevents citizens from suing based on harm done to them and to their families, that needs to go. Until we get it repealed completely, we're going to do several small things that should have been done yesterday. So your bill, Mr. Chairman, Stop CSAM, is pretty simple. We're going to change the law that if you go to a social media outlet and you tell them you're running photos or your site's being used to show the abuse that I suffered, would you please stop, and they blow you off and do nothing, you actually have recourse now. So if you've got a child that's on the internet being groomed by these sexual predators you talked about, Chairman, you can go to the website, you can go to the social media outlet and say, this is harming my family, would you do something about it? We had a lady who came to the committee. Her daughter was being, I believe it was her daughter, was being bullied on a site, and they had a no bullying policy. She went to the website, to the social media outlet, and complained they did nothing, and her child committed suicide. They go to court and they get kicked out. We're talking about putting people on notice and you still do nothing. So we've made some changes to Senator Durbin's bill to get more support. I want to walk through those changes to make sure it gets us in the right direction. But I've never been more encouraged than I am right now. More and more members are coming on board saying, I am with you. And less want to go down to the floor and stop common sense legislation. We are not stopping. We're going to keep going to the floor until we break this wall. And what is this wall? Money and influence. The only reason we don't have these bills passed is because of money. I have vowed not to take a penny from these social media companies. I wish everybody in Congress say, we don't want your money anymore. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So let me just conclude. Thanks, Andrew. The key to getting anything done in the United States Senate is two things. Bipartisanship.
Yes.
You can't do it by yourself. You have a leading Republican and a leading Democrat working together. And second, and this is the most painful part, patience.
Yes.
Patience. We need you to help us in many different ways, but you got to understand, moving something as big as this behemoth called social media in the right direction should be easy and isn't at all. It's one of the big, I've tackled a couple big issues in my life, and you have too. When I took on big tobacco to ban smoking on airplanes, I thought I was facing the world. We got it done. But it took some patience and hard work to do it. We're going to do it because we care for you, we care for your family, your kids and grandkids, and our kids and grandkids as well. We're all in this together, those of us who love our kids and our families. So please stick with us. We're not giving up on you. Don't give up on us, okay?
Here, here.
Thank you, sir.
God bless. Thank you very much.
I'm a survivor of that. Yeah, you're going to make a difference. It was 7. So.
Who is it? John Hawkins, where are you going? Where? Get up and talk. I thought you said down. Down. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Okay.
Imagine a world where the sexual abuse of a child is recorded and circulated on popular social media sites. A world where you have to go to school every day knowing that your teachers or classmates have just seen the worst moments of your life memorialized online. Knowing that a stranger that you pass on the street may rewatch that video over and over again because it's never taken down from websites like Instagram, Discord, Reddit, and others. Our law center at the National Center on Sexual Exploitation is representing 2 young men who were sexually exploited at age 13. Their abuse was compiled and uploaded to X, formerly Twitter. They begged X to take it down. Finally, after uploading a photo of their ID, X got back to them saying, quote, "We've reviewed the content and didn't find a violation of our policies, so no action will be taken at this time," unquote. It amassed 200,000 views in just a few days and countless downloads. One of the young men became suicidal, and the impact on their lives cannot be overstated. X has argued from the beginning that it had complete legal immunity through this Section 230, even though it knowingly possessed CSAM. And the courts are confused. Despite clearly knowing that this was CSAM, the courts so far have agreed with Twitter that they're immune. This cannot continue to stand. Every day, big tech scans for malware and spyware and Hollywood's copyrighted content, but they leave child sexual abuse material to amass views and money. It's time to protect child victims' privacy. The technology industry opposes any effort by Congress calling for their partnership in child safety. This is for a deeply cynical reason. It's money. The technology industry doesn't want to spend money on protecting children online. Time's up for big tech. We have waited for 25 years for Congress to hold them accountable, and that is what is happening right now.
Amen. Who's next? Clearly, I don't know who's speaking,
That's
but
all
I'm
right.
enjoying hearing.
Good afternoon. My name is Lori Cohen. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Protect All Children from Trafficking, or PACT. I want to thank Senator Durbin and thank you, Senator Graham. We want to thank you and your offices for your support in helping to bring together 17 survivors and lived experience experts of human trafficking, sexual abuse, and online abuse to DC for our event today, Rising Together, Survivor Engagement in Public Policy. And a special thanks to Blair Bigello for all the work you personally invested to make today's event a success. PAC thanks our partners, IJM, Nicosi, Child Fund, Human Rights for Kids, and Rights for Girls. And critically, PAC thanks the survivors who join with us today to ensure every child's right to grow up free from sex trafficking and online exploitation. Let's thank them all, please.
Yeah.
For over 30 years, PACT has been at the forefront of advocacy to prevent the commercial sexual exploitation of children in the United States. It is PACT's goal to ensure survivors and lived experience experts are at the table to inform lawmakers about the policy issues that matter to them. Centering survivor voices is critical in gaining a comprehensive understanding of how to navigate these conversations and how they inform legislation. Two bills that the survivors and lived experience experts spoke about today are the Stop CSAM Act and the Earn It Act. Passing the Earn It Act and Stop CSAM Act will serve as the first steps in helping to strengthen the protection of children and holding online platforms accountable. Thank you, and it's my pleasure to introduce a member of PAC's Board of Directors and a member of our Survivors Council, Katrina Massey.
Thank you, Senator Durbin, and thank you, Senator Graham. Survivors and those with lived experience play a crucial role in policy-making process. Having firsthand insights into best practices, challenges, and experiences of those affected by a particular issue gives light to the solutions. We are the boots on the ground and witness daily through direct services and everyday lives how circumstances out of our control keep us in a continuous loop, reminding us of our trauma with no possibility of a true, authentic beginning. Why should we listen to survivors? Because ultimately, this saves this country money. The cost of welfare benefits, incarceration, and affordable and emergency housing costs more than having a fresh start, free of stigma and shame. Again, thank you, Senator Durbin, for Stop CSAM Act, and thank you, Senator Graham, for the Earn It Act. Tech has shown over and over again that they aren't willing to self-regulate. Families and those affected are demanding accountability. In the words of our departed survivor, Council Member Barbara Amaya, nothing about us with us. Look around, see us, and hear us. We want to support your work in the entire process. And, like you previously said, protecting children online is common sense. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Nate King, and I have the honor of serving as Director of Policy and Advocacy with International Justice Mission. I want to thank Senator Graham and Senator Durbin for their leadership in this space. It has been 1,539 days since the EARN It Act was first introduced on March 5th, 2020. Since then, a version of that bill has passed the Senate Judiciary Committee unanimously on 3 separate occasions, yet it has never received a vote on the Senate floor. This is the status quo. Yep. And in this fight against the growing and global problem of online sexual exploitation of children, the status quo is not acceptable. For more than 25 years, IJM has advocated for stronger laws and law enforcement to protect vulnerable people from violence. Here's the current reality. At an alarming scale, child sex offenders around the world seek traffickers online in countries like the Philippines, paying them to live stream the sexual abuse of children as directed by these predators in real time. A study from IJM and the University of Nottingham Rights Lab reports that in 2022, nearly 500,000 Filipino children, that's 1 in 100 children in the Philippines, were sexually abused to create new child sexual abuse material. Tougher laws and incentives for American technology companies to address this issue are desperately needed. The entire industry must do more to detect, report, and remove CSAM on their platforms, including live-streamed abuse. We are at a crisis point where it is clear that children are not safe on publicly used internet platforms. We must find a balance between the need for user privacy and protecting kids online. We can do it. The EARN It Act helps strike that balance. If the bill does not receive unanimous consent today, we urge Majority Leader Schumer to schedule a vote on the Senate floor before the July recess. The House also needs to act on this issue, and we urge Chairman Jordan to hold a markup for the bill in the House Judiciary Committee. It has been 1,539 days. Survivors of this crime should not have to wait a day longer, and the American people deserve to know where their legislators stand on one of the most pressing human rights abuses of their time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ruby from the Global Survivor Network. I am a survivor of online sexual exploitation of children in the Philippines. On January 31st, I watched the big tech hearing from the Philippines, and I want to directly address the top leadership of Meta, Discord, X, Snapchat, TikTok, and other American tech companies. It is time to stop talking and start taking action. We are real people, children who are being sexually abused online. Our abuse is live streamed, and even after we are rescued, this footage remains online. Take down the footage of our abuse living on your platforms. Today, I wear a mask because I have to protect my identity, and I ask you to honor that for me and for many others out there. I was trafficked when I was a teenager and was abused in front of a webcam by men on computers from all over the world, and so many men from the US. They forced me to do things I didn't want to do, and if I didn't, I was punished. No other child should ever experience this. We are doing this so other kids are safe. Congress should urge tech companies to prevent, detect, report and remove any child sexual abuse on their sites, and publicly report what they are doing to stop this. Survivors like us must be compensated by offenders so we can rebuild and heal. Congress can pass online safety laws such as the Earn It Act and Stop SESAM Act to protect children from sexual abuse and exploitation. I urge all the members of the United States Senate to support the passage of these bills today. Survivors cannot wait any longer for change. Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know what you say, other than we'll just keep plugging away. The people in this business, you're the highway for this filth. It's one thing to be abused, it's another thing to share it for money and have people from all over the world watch it being abused for profit. So to these media companies, what are you waiting on? Why am I having to make you do this? To X, what are you waiting on? Stop this. You know, to Meta, whatever you call it today, stop it. Why do we have to make you do this? If you don't stop it, we're going to make you do this. And I hope you pay. And I hope it hurts.